Recently, my wife and I were having a conversation, and she said, "Hey, did I tell you about that movie that came out this year? The one about Ignatius or Ignatius, however you want to say his stupid name, of Loyola?" I said, "What? Huh?" And she said, "Oh yeah." She said, "There was this book, or this movie, excuse me, that came out this summer. I think it was July. Ignacio de Loyola."
August.
And August, was it? Okay. It's never there. She said it's August. And I was like, "What on earth are you talking about?" So I came and I typed it in, YouTube search, and sure enough, there's the trailer for the thing and whatever else. And I'm just like, they made a movie about the founder of the Jesuits. It's like, so I started looking into this thing, and pretty interesting information. Let me put up a picture here. This is the executive director. Okay, this is a movie company in the Philippines called JESCOM. I'm not joking. Look at the picture. Father Emmanuel Alfonso Society of Jesus. There is what that means. The SJ there. And FR is Father. It's an abbreviation for Father. And he is the executive director of JESCOM. So the Jesuits are making movies openly now. JESCOM, by the way, originally was a term coined by a priest, a Jesuit priest named Reuter. Actually, was his last name. Interesting last name, but it meant Jesuits engaged in social communications. It was back in the late 1960s, I believe, is when the thing came out. But this JESCOM organization in the Philippines, they basically created this, Ignacio de Loyola. And the interesting thing about this is, if you go to the IMDb page and you look at the rating, the parent's guide for Ignacio de Loyola, and you can, well, let's read it here. I'll put it up on screen. It says, look at the things that's listed here. Parent's guide: sex and nudity, violence and gore, profanity, alcohol, drugs, smoking, frightening, intense scenes. So, let me get this straight. The church that Jesus Christ founded, the Roman Catholic Church, is bringing out a movie with those things in it. And by the way, you say, well, no, it's just talking about certain rating categories or whatever. Look at the trailer preview. I'm not even going to put a link to the thing, but if you're like, huh? Look at the trailer for this movie. Just type in the Ignacio de Loyola there, movie or something like that, and it'll come up with the trailer for it. And it's like really, really wicked looking movie. Talking about the fact that he was into mysticism and all this other stuff. I mean, it's pretty wild. But I thought this was very interesting. You get these Jesuits coming out with a movie, and you can also look at this. I might play a little bit of the video clip here. But the Black Pope was interviewed by the Jesuit Post. They have a channel here on YouTube, and this young Jesuit is speaking to the Black Pope, the head of the Jesuit order, probably one of the most powerful men on earth. And he's saying, what do we do about the youth and things? And this guy's like, the Black Pope is like, we need to get through, to the youth through social media. So let me play a little bit of this clip.
At the Jesuit Post, one of the things we focused on is new media and reaching seekers. Do you see this as a frontier that the Society of Jesus is tackling and doing things in, not just in the United States, but across the world?
Yeah, I think media is clearly a new frontier, and we don't know yet how to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
And we will see later how much computers and smartphones and other media affect the brain of the children, and the way of understanding reality and the way of facing the different crises that every person is going to have in life. We don't know yet, and that's why this is a frontier. That's why it's a frontier, because we don't know.
So there you go. Interesting. That's the Black Pope there that you're watching. But I just thought it was interesting because these guys are supposed to be, Catholic priests. It's an order within Catholicism. You have the Jesuits and the Dominicans and the Franciscans and the, all these different guys. They're supposed to be holy. Why are they putting out a movie with such violence and, nudity and or the other things there? Sex and nudity, violence and gore, profanity, alcohol, drugs, smoking, frightening, intense scenes. Let me show you the catechism here. This is the Baltimore Catechism. It says, the church always does the will of its divine founder. Really? So you're doing the will of the Lord by bringing out wicked movies. Sure you are. Sure you are. But let me see, I gotta find the other thing here. This is some funny stuff here. The sixth commandment. This is page 124. Okay? The sixth commandment. I wouldn't wear that when it doesn't cover enough. Okay. I wonder how many Catholic women aspire to that. Put that one back. That's a bad one. Impurity and immodesty. But they bring out a movie about the founder of the Jesuit order, and it says sex and nudity in the rating section. Continuing here, it says, we are commanded to be pure and modest in our behavior. And we should cover them modestly, our bodies and things. Okay. Next page. The sixth commandment forbids all impurity and immodesty in words, looks, and actions, whether alone or with others. So this is what the Catechism is teaching children, and yet the Roman Catholic priesthood is putting out movies in violation of that. Okay. Continuing. Warning here against impure conversations, dirty jokes, looking at bad pictures. How about what are the chief dangers to the virtue of chastity? Drinking, immodest dress, motion pictures. So the Catechism is saying motion pictures are evil. They are the chief dangers to the virtue of chastity. Right there, you're looking at it. Motion pictures. But JESCOM is headed, the executive director is a Jesuit priest. Oh yeah. Continue down here. Many fall because they do not avoid dangers. They go to movies which are objectionable or which only adults should see. They read dangerous magazines or newspapers. They associate too much with the opposite sex and try to excuse themselves by saying that they have no bad intentions. Good intentions alone are not sufficient. Human nature is very weak where purity is concerned, and we must keep far from all dangers, or sooner or later we shall fall. Okay. So, you got to take this advice, all right, because you can trust the fact that the Jesuits came out with a movie. I mean, when Hollywood comes out with a movie, see, it's bad. Okay? Let me show you again here. Page 42. Page 42. Talking about different types of sin. Bad movies. Avoid near occasions of sin. Okay? So, you understand. When Hollywood makes a movie, it's bad. When the Jesuits make a movie, it's a tool for evangelism. Evangelizing the lost. I mean, make movies about the founder of the Jesuit order, and that's a good thing. It's wonderful, even though it's sex and nudity, violence and gore, profanity, alcohol, drugs, smoking, and frightening and intense scenes. Yeah. I don't understand how a Roman Catholic can look at this type of thing and just go, it's no big deal. I don't see any contradiction. Catechism says you're to avoid movies, but you get a head of a movie company, and the guy's a Jesuit priest. You better wake up, Catholic. You better get out of that system.